Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen, amma ba'du. Min wasaya an-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Min wasaya an-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, from the advices, right? Wasiyah, wasiyatun with a ta marbuta, wasiyatun. Come on, pen. Wasiyatun is one, wasaya is plural. From the advices of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al Hadith Wahid Ba'da Miyatain. This 201st Hadith. تفضل.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: أوصاني خليلي صلى الله عليه وسلم بثلاث: صيام 3 أيام من كل شهر، وركعتي الضحى، وأن أوتر قبل أن أنام. On the authority of Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu, and that he said, my friend advised me with three things: fasting 3 days of every month, praying 2 rak'ats of duha, and praying with her before I sleep.
No, and that I pray with her before I sleep. All right. طيب. من فوائد وأحكام الحديث. Hadith again. Awsani Khalili. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, Awsani Khalili, my friend, my close friend, advised me, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, bi thalathan, with 3. Siyami, because of the ba. He advised me, bi siyami thalathati ayamin min kulli shahr, with 3, by fasting 3 days in every month. Wa rakatay ad-duha. That's why it's not rakatan du'a or rakata, because of the ba. Bi rakatay. It became majrur, and a dual becomes majrur with a ya, right? Bi rakatay ad-duha wa an utira, and it's mansub here because of the an. Wa an utira qabla an anama, and that I make witr before I sleep. طيب. من فوائد وأحكام الحديث, from the virtues, benefits and rulings of the hadith. أولا, firstly, حسن معاشرة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لأصحابه. حسن معاشرة. Give me a second. You hear it and you don't necessarily pay attention to it. Is muashara or muashira? I want to be correct here. Anyway, it means the good companionship and the living with. Muashara. Now, where's that? Muashara. It has a kasra on the top marbuta because of idafa. So muashara is the living with and the companionship, right? The living amongst and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam li ashabihi. So how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived with and had a close companionship with his companions. Wa ta'ahudihi wa ta'ahudihi. Ta'ahudi would be going back to husn as well. Husnu ta'ahudihi. Ta'ahudihi iyam. Ta'ahud means to, and you're not going to find this in the Hans Word Dictionary. This is a form of the verb you're not going to find under Ein Ha Dal. You'll find the root, but you're not going to find form 6. Here it means to basically ta'ahud, like an ahad. An ahad is like a contract or a covenant that you might make. Here it's meaning to encourage them and to try to get them to commit to certain actions, right? Ta'ahudihi iyahum. So his encouraging them to commit bima yanfa'uhum, to what benefits them, right? Ta'ahud is to, like we said, to get someone to commit to something, right? Iyahum bima yanfa'ahum, to get them to commit to doing something which is beneficial to them, for them, or which benefits them. ثانيا فضل الصيام ثلاثة أيام من كل شهر, the virtue of fasting 3 days in every month. وأفضل أن تكون أيام البيض, and the best is that they be the white days. أيام البيض, right? The white days. ثلاثة or ثلاثة عشرة وأربعة عشر وخمسة عشر, the 13th, 14th, and 15th of the month. ثالثا فضل ركعتي الضحى, فضل ركعتي الضحى كل يوم, every day, the virtue of performing 2 rakat of duha every day. والرابع, and fourthly فضل الوتر قبل النوم, the virtue of witr before sleeping. لكن, however, هذا في من يخشى, this is for whoever fears, ألا, and this is a conjugation of an plus la, ألا يقوم, so that's why fatha would be on there because of the an, right? ألا يقوم, whoever fears that he will not get up, min akhir al-layl, at the end of the night, right? If he's a hard sleeper, pray witr before you go to sleep, right? Someone has a trouble waking up for fajr, right, or waking up in the middle of the night, then perform witr before. But if you're someone that gets up in the middle of the night, it's easy for you and you find yourself restless, then pray at that time of the night, it's better. All right? Any questions?
Yeah, the rak'ati, does that basically mean salah, ruku'?
Rakatay, 2 rakat.
Rak'atain, isn't that the same?
When you, it's the same as rakatain. Whenever you have a noon from a dual, and it could be ya noon or alif noon, or the wow and the noon from the plural. So mu'minun, muslimun, you have a wow and then a noon, or a ya and a noon, depending on how it is in the sentence. Muslimin, mu'minin. If it becomes mudaf, you drop the noon. Right? And there's examples of that in the Quran when there's 2 messengers that came from the other end of the city, Rasula Rabbika. We're 2 messengers of your Lord. Rasula Rabbika, like this. So you drop the noon if it's in a mudaf position. So rakatain of duha. But because of the idafa, we say rakatain.
I missed that word. هذا فيأمان. What's is that? Yeah, there.
Where we at?
Supposed to be there. Do you know?
4.
I'm sorry.
Femen.
Oh,
Femen.
okay, Feman. Okay.
For whoever.
Okay.
Right? ولكن هذا في من يخشى ألا يقوم من آخر الليل. But even if you don't know all this kasra fatha, this or that, you know what I mean? But you can read that sentence and understand it. Like we can go over there to the masjid at the next prayer, and we can ask them to read that sentence, and every one of them is going to know what that sentence means. And if you ask them to put the correct tashkil on it, every one of them almost is going to mess up. Maybe the imam and the muezzin, you understand? But the accountant and the security guard and the old retired man, they're all going to say, Fadl witr qabla noam. Lakin hadha fi man yakhsha ala yaqum min akhir layl. They're not going to, they're going to skip out of lamb. They're going to skip the ending. You know, they're not going to be able to do it. Most of them. Some of them, min akhiri, they'll probably have that. You know, but they might have this sentence, for example. But you're going to find some of them mess up even on this sentence. But they understand it perfectly. So while we want to, as learning, wanting to be students and become better, we want to have it correctly. The main thing is understanding. If you're able to say, Fadl al-witr qabla al-nawm, if you're able to say it, like I said, Fadl al-witr qabla al-nawm, and you just cut off all the ends because you don't know the proper i'rab of it, the person will understand what you're saying. But you got to build the vocabulary and get to that point. You can know all the grammar in the world. If you don't know the vocabulary, you can't make the sentence. So you might be able to tell him he's wrong when he makes a sentence, but you won't know what the sentence means. So this is the importance, inshallah. طيب. هذا والله تعالى أعلم وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.